So, you have a child support order in place and you're paying it to the best of your ability until something happens. I'm Marissa B. Grayson, and you're watching Life, Law, and Order, where I share tips on how to stay ahead of the game in your life and legal affairs. In this video, I'll be sharing 5 steps that you need to take if something happens and you need to lower your child support. Stuff happens. You lose your job, you take a pay cut, you get sick or injured and have to miss a lot of time of work. You have uninsured medical expenses that pop up out of the blue. Your job notifies you that it's now company policy that you won't be able to work overtime. There is no way that you can survive under these new financial circumstances if you have to continue to pay child support in the amount that is currently ordered. The biggest mistake that someone can make when they realize that their financial circumstances have changed and they need to modify their child support is to do nothing. For some reason, this seems to be the most common resolution to the problem: doing nothing. Yet then they get surprised when they get this huge arrears bill in the mail because they did nothing. If something happens and you're unable to continue to pay your child support at the amount that it's set at, it's important to act as quickly as possible. Why? Because failure to pay results in child support arrears. Child support arrears results in interest being added to your child support amount. Interest being added results in the need to pay more money that you already don't have. Failure to pay that money that you don't already have, that's now been added, results in penalties that you will have to suffer, such as license suspension, your wages being garnished, your property being seized, your bank accounts being levied, and so much more. So for this reason, it's important to act as quickly as possible so that you can prevent the domino effect from happening. The first thing that you should do if you realize that you can no longer pay your child support at the amount that is set is to contact your lawyer if you have one, or to hire one if you can afford to hire one. If you're unable to hire a lawyer to handle your child support matter, the next step that you would take will be to contact your court and or the child support agency that's handling your case, so that you can find out the procedures that need to be followed in order for you to request that your child support be lowered. Usually, if the court is handling your child support case, what they will require is that you file some kind of formal motion or a request for an order for a modification of child support. If your case is being handled by your local child support agency, then what they will require is that you provide your financial documents so that they can see what's happened that's resulted in the need for you to change your child support order, and then they will file the request to modify your child support accordingly. It's important to remember that the court system can be backlogged and it can take a while to get a hearing date. So the sooner you file your request to change your child support, the sooner you can have your hearing and the sooner some changes can be made. The next thing that you need to try to do is contact the other parent to see if it's possible for you to reach some kind of agreement between the two of you temporarily until you can formally resolve your child support issue. If you and the other parent are on good terms, which hopefully you are, then you should just be able to communicate with that parent your situation, explain what you are able to do based on the new finances, and see if there's anything that the two of you can agree on as far as the expenses that you could take care of, or an amount that will be agreeable and workable for both of you, so that temporarily you can still continue to support your child without putting yourself in the hole. If the two of you are able to reach an agreement, it's important that you contact the child support agency or file your agreement with the court so they can be put on notice of your new agreement, and you won't be penalized for failure to pay your child support. If you and the other parent don't get along and you don't have a good relationship, getting them to agree on a lower child support is a long shot, but you will never know if you don't bother to ask. So in this case, I would suggest that you try to communicate in writing, send a letter to the other parent explaining your financial situation and explain what it is that you can do financially to continue to contribute to your child support. In the meantime, make sure that you continue to pay as much as you can pay. Paying some is better than not paying any at all. And also make sure that you always keep copies of all of your receipts for items that you've purchased for your child. And if you're paying any money directly to the other parent, it's important that, if possible, you use a check so that you can provide canceled checks to the child support office or the court as proof of your payment, and then you can get credit for the payments that you've made. Finally, when preparing for your child support modification hearing, make sure that you are as prepared as possible. It's better to have more proof of your change in financial circumstances than less proof. If possible, try to get documentation from your employer that notified you of your termination of employment, your hours that were cut back, your salary that was decreased, your inability to obtain overtime, things of that nature, and make sure that it's in writing. If possible, have your employer come and testify on your behalf. Failure to prove that these circumstances have really changed could result in the court imputing the income that you were previously making to you as potential income. If that happens, you pretty much get no slack, and you'll have to continue to pay the child support at the amount that it was originally ordered. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you want more tips on how to deal with child support and child custody matters, make sure you head on over to my blog, www.marissavgrayson.com, where you can find more information on topics such as this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.